Hello, welcome back to AWS Solution Architect Associate. So today we'll be going through this Module 7 guided labs, creating a VPC peering connection. So the lab status is ready. This is the lab overview and objective. So we might want to connect to our virtual VPCs when you must transfer data between them. So this labs show us how to create a private VPC peering connection between two VPCs. So after completing this lab, we should be able to create a VPC peering connection, configure route table to use the VPC peering connection. So at the end of this lab, our architecture would look something like this. So we have multiple VPC, one is lab VPC and the other is shared VPC. So here we are creating a peering connection between these two VPCs so that we can share the same security group for this what we call instance and this DB instance. So for this, let's start the lab. So now let's create a VPC peering connection. Let's open AWS first. So currently this is how our architecture look like. If you go to VPCs, we should have multiple VPCs. One is a lab VPC and the other is shared VPC. Let's go to VPCs. So we have three VPCs, so we can ignore the first VPC. So let's say we have this lab VPC and shared VPC, and this is how the architecture currently look like. So inside this lab VPC, we are having public and a private subnet, and there's an EC2 instance inside the public subnet in the lab VPC. And here in the shared VPC, we have this DB instance in the private subnet. So in the left, let's go to peering connection. So we have this peering connection here, and let's go to create peering connection, and let's choose the same name as this. So you can see here we have this requester. So in the requester, we should be using lab VPC. And in the acceptor, we will be using the shared VPC. Let's create peer connection. So when a VPC peering connection is created, the target VPC must accept the connection request. The target VPC must accept the request because it might be owned by different account. Alternatively, the user that creates the peering connection might not have permission to accept the connection request for the target VPC. However, in this lab, you will accept the connection yourself. So we need to select lab peer. So this is the lab peer. Let's go to peering connection. Let's choose the lab peer. Let's go to actions, and then we can do accept request. And let's accept the request. So the peering connection is now active. So now we need to configure route tables. So we need to configure both route tables in both the VPC to send traffic from lab VPC to peering connection for shared VPC. So this is how our route table would look like. So let's go to route tables. So here, lab public route table for lab VPC. Here what we'll be doing is we'll be configuring the public route table associated with the lab VPC. If the destination IP address falls in the range of shared VPC, the public route table will send traffic to the peering connection, right? Let's go to route table. Let's go to lab public route table. Lab public route table. Let's go to route. And in the destination, let's choose this IP. So this is in the block range of this shared VPC, the CIDR block. Let's say edit route. Let's add route. So this should be the destination, and the target should be select peering connection. So here we have to choose peering connection, and you can choose this lab peer, and then let's save. So now we'll configure the reverse flow of traffic that comes from the shared VPC and goes to the lab VPC. So now I need to go to shared VPC route table. So let's go to shared VPC route table. Let's go to routes, and let's go to edit routes. And here what we have to do is, so we need to add the destination as the CID block range of the left VPC. So let's add route. So this CID block CIDR range is in the for the left VPC. So here you can choose the target to be a peering connection, and then left peer. Let's save. So now we have created a peering connection. So we have in this lab public route table. So we gave a route that forward any request to the CIDR range, IP range would go to the peering connection, and the same thing for the shared VPC. Any IP range in that CIDR of lab VPC will be forwarded to the lab VPC peer. So now let's test the VPC peering connection. So let's go to EC2. As I told you, there's already a EC2 instance created. Let's go to instances. So we have already this instance running. So let's choose this and let's copy the IPv4 address and let's paste here. So let's go to setting. Let's add database as inventory. So for the endpoint, what we have to do is we'll go to details. Let's go to show. So we should have this endpoint here. So let's copy this endpoint. Let's paste this endpoint here. So let's close this. And the username is admin. And the password is lab password. Let's save. So now we are able to connect to the database. So the database is located in the shared VPC and we are accessing the database from the lab VPC. So this way we are creating a peering connection. So let's submit the task. Yes. This way we have scored 30 out of 30. So this is it from this lab. So hope to see you in another guided lab or a challenge lab. Bye bye.